Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Channel Fringe hard-hitting action news update, sponsored by Shuttles Communication. I'm senior anchor Andrew Hungerford. You might notice tonight that the senior junior on the beat in the street, ready to rumble rough and tumble, sometimes comes up with a clever rhyme like fumble anchor Zach Robinson is taking a well-deserved break from the news tonight. And you might also notice that our junior senior anchor, Tamara Winters, is not yet on the video feed because we're having technical difficulties. So I'm going to vamp for a minute until we see if she can actually join us. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Cool. That's great. What did you have for dinner? Oh, hey, Tammy.
Hey, can you all hear me now?
Yeah. Oh no,
Anybody?
but your face just froze. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. Are we back in action?
We are. I've introduced myself. Let's have you introduce yourself.
I can only hear robots, so this is no production.
Everything's going great, y'all.
And now everybody's frozen.
Well, we had a backup plan in case Tammy's internet failed tonight, and it was that I have a sock puppet, but that was a joke, and I didn't actually bring a sock puppet with me. So, yeah.
Do we have you, Tammy?
She says she can't see or hear anything. We might need to. I also was having problems with the Zoom meeting, but most of mine seem to have resolved. But yes, perhaps we should have Tammy disconnect and try rejoining. Cool. Where is 001 when we need him? Hey, everyone. We're going to be back ASAP as soon as we get this technical issue sorted out. Good evening, everyone. I think we're back. Once again, welcome to the Channel Fringe Hard-Hitting Action News Update, sponsored by Shells Communication. I'm senior anchor Andrew Hungerford. As you can see, senior anchor Tamara Winters is not with us tonight because of technical failure. And unfortunately, of course, this happened on Fringineer 001's night off. Alas. And also, you might notice that we're missing Senior Junior on the beat, in the street, ready to rumble, rough and tumble. Sometimes comes up with a clever rhyme like fumble anchor Zach Robinson, because he's taking a well-deserved break from the news tonight, and he left us this note that he had originally written in two parts, so both Tammy and I would have to pretend to be him to read it, but I've got it all right here, so let me see what it has to say. Hello, Kafanu News Team. I am writing to you tonight to let you know that I will be taking the night off and was definitely not abducted by aliens. I will be partaking in normal human activities tonight, like eating and drinking, perhaps watching a film on my television set. So don't be alarmed, and once again, there is no alien involvement. Why would you bring that up again, Andrew? Ha ha ha. So this is your new human anchor. This is your human new anchor who is fond of rhymes, signing off for an evening of rest, which, as I know, is essential to human function. Again, I am not in space. Love, Zach. So I suppose you might be asking if Zach is in space right now, but I think that's a question that was clearly addressed by his note. So we're going to move on to the news. Tonight's top story is community, which we recognize has been sorely lacking in person for the last 3 months. But in the last week and a half, in response to the latest incidents of police brutality and the collective frustration with a system of oppression that continues to be aided and abetted by those in power, something really beautiful has been unfolding. We've seen people take to the streets to march in support of Black Lives Matter, some for the very first time. We've seen people step up to support those efforts as street medics or to provide food, water, and rides to demonstrators. We've seen powerful collective displays of both grief and love, including last night's peaceful vigil in honor of Breonna Taylor in downtown Cincinnati, pictured here. And we've seen people make commitments to staying in the fight long term, setting reminders for themselves for a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, to ask themselves what they are still doing on that day, today, to dismantle white supremacy. Organizations like the Cincinnati Fringe Festival exist because there is a community of people who believe in a better world than what we usually see around us, that we have more to offer each other than fear. This week, even as we've seen some of the worst of humanity on display, we've also been witness to how profoundly good we can all be when we do the work. So, to everyone on the streets, everyone speaking truth to power, everyone supporting the fight with donations and phone calls and letters and rides and supply runs, we say, thank you for reminding us all what community looks like in action. Thank you for pushing us to be better. And now, let's take a look at what the artists of this community have on deck for you tomorrow. Yes, starting tomorrow at 11 a.m., we have The More You Know. Join our No artists while they talk about fun subjects they want to share. And then at 3 p.m., we have the first Kinda Weird watch of the day with Fringe Flashback, Occupy This, Tales of an Accidental Activist by Tommy the Reverend Nuge Nugent. A Fringe storyteller travels to Occupy Wall Street to carry funny signs and finds a cause he starts to believe in. Then join the Reverend Nuge for his Fringe Classics Talkback at 4 p.m. Then at 5 p.m., we have The Watch of Colony by Sophania Dance Company and Aura Contemporary Ensemble, an exploration of our symbiotic relationship with honeybees through dance and music. After, we'll have a special edition of Mumblebees for their talkback at 6. Then at 7, we have a little break since Killjoy, Ohio's talkback has been moved to June 10th at 5 p.m. Take the time to breathe, rest, and catch up on some Fringe shows you might have missed, and or catch up on what the direct action plan in support of Black Lives Matter looks like for the rest of the day. Now, on to today's leaderboard update. Currently in third place with 106 views is Forbidden City from Martin Dockery. And in second place with 107 views is Proximity from Pones. And retaining the lead is Paul and Erica's House Show from Theater and Mobile with 112 views. We've still got 7 days left to Fringe, so everything could change soon. And don't forget, you get to vote on your pick of the Fringe. Surveys will roll out soon, and we'll have more info for you when they launch. And now, since I've been talking a lot by myself, we'd like to welcome... Wait, what does that sound? It sounds like a horse galloping. It must be tonight's guest, who is the Fringe Squire?
Hello, my lord. I'm so sorry to interrupt your Trifonu live talking about the state of the world and the festival of fringing.
No, Fringe Squire, that's quite all right. You're our special guest to update us about the state of the medieval fringe times?
Well, I am honored, and only if you insist.
I do insist.
Thank you. I wouldn't want to get in the way of you and your junior senior anchor, wherever she may be, moving your mouth at large for the public.
No, Fringe Squire, please do interrupt. That's the point of this bit, and I don't want to spend all night talking by myself.
Well, you can always find a friend in the Fringe Squire to talk with you or just listen. Well, for those of you who are just tuning in, and by tuning in, I mean listening to the words that I'm saying right now on the interwebs, I'm here to present to you, on behalf of the Queen, the 5 ways you can fringe from the safety of your own glass-looking glass, otherwise known as a PC.
Well, that is fantastic. I think we could all use an update from the Queen.
The first F of fringing is feet up.
Wow.
When the Queen's fringing, she always puts her feet up on a footstool, and that is proven by the court wizards to be the best way to retain what you're seeing while you're fringing.
Wow. I did not know that there were court wizards helping the Queen to fringe properly.
Oh, yes. The Queen employs all sorts of wizards and witches to help deal with all these newfangled dark arts like the internet. Now, on to number 2. The second F of fringe is fairness. When viewing, always be sure you're viewing multiple performances to be exactly like the Queen and give all the Fringe primary lineup peasants your love and adornment.
So, Fringe Squire, we don't really call our artists peasants.
Oh, I am so sorry. Where I come from, all peasants are artists and all artists are peasants. I'm so sorry. And now I will refrain from speaking ever again. I will see myself out and I will throw myself in the stockades, and this is why I will never be worthy of a fringe kind of weird knighthood.
No, Fringe Squire, you don't have to do all that. You just need to be more confident. You have so much knowledge. Why don't you tell us about number 3?
Thank you. Number 3. Oh, you are too kind to a young squire. Number 3 is freaky. Sometimes things get a little freaky, and that's okay. The best way I've found to deal with freaky things is to journal in your journal, full of thoughts, which I will be doing right after this segment.
You're going to need a pretty big journal.
Oh, I always carry a very big journal with me, and my quill. You never know when the thought's gonna strike. All right, let's see. Which one were we on? Oh, Fringe F number 4. Friendship. Even if you're behind a screen, there are so many ways to make new fringe friendships. For example, if you want to congregate with other fringy people, I don't understand the mechanisms behind it, but I do know that there is some magic that puts you in a virtual room with other people, and then you will become best friends.
Wow.
My best friends are always made in the stables. My best and biggest friends, and I'd like to show you. I also have a picture of me, friends.
Oh, wow, look at that.
All three of them.
That is adorable. And Fringe Square, we don't even want you to say the last F, Fringe F, because then the bit will be over and you'll leave the Zoom call.
I am honored that you would want me to stay with you, as most people in my kingdom do not want that. But I must stay in line with the proclamation of 2020 that all squires must proclaim all Fs of Fringe in order to maintain their squireship.
Then take us home, Fringe Squire.
I thought you didn't want the squire to go home. I'm so sorry. I will go.
No. Please finish. That was what we call idiom.
Oh, we are learning every day here.
Look at this.
Well, thank you. All right. The final F of Fringe is feasting. Feast ye eyes on all the art you can. Fill ye heart with art, and then share what you have learned while breaking bread with those you love, as long as it is socially distant, of course. And if all else fails, enjoy a snack while you fringe.
Well, thank you so much for those 5 Fs of Fringe Squire. And we actually have a little surprise for you before we go.
A surprise for me? Just a young squire?
That's right. Since I'm the only other one here, I think I have the authority to give you a Fringe knighthood.
This squire is not worthy of a knighthood. I am honored, but I cannot accept. I must go. The horses need stabling, and the knights need armoring, and the stocks need to be restocked. I must go, but do not forget that the squire lives in your heart, just like Fringe and just like friendship. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you for traveling through time, I guess, to teach us that the real treasure was the fringe we made along the way. Thanks again, Fringe Squire. Now let's take a look at the bar series for tonight. Well, we're taking a breather this evening from some of our usual planned bar series shenanigans, but we welcome you to keep using the time to refresh, recharge, and reinvest in your community. We promise next year we'll be back with all of your favorite bar series frivolity. But coming up, we do have some additional bar series events ahead. In fact, on Thursday, June 10th, we'll have the premiere of a living room concert by Pacific Northwest cosmic Americana folk duo Dead Lee. Portland band Dead Lee formed in 2017 when Brian Adrian Cook, current and founding member of Portland indie rock band Blitzen Trapper, and partner singer-songwriter Kara Harris, first started singing together for each other in their apartment. Now, for the last 2 years, they've been playing all over the Pacific Northwest, Puerto Rico, Ireland, and recently returned from a month-long tour of Europe. Brian was last seen on the No Theater stage in our production of The Bengson's 100 Days, and Dead Lee was supposed to join us as a surprise in-person concert at Fringe this year, so we're delighted that they can be with us digitally. After the concert's premiere, it'll be available for video on demand through the rest of the Fringe. Tickets will be on sale tomorrow, but for now, I'm senior anchor Andrew Hungerford. So many tech problems, I can't even say my name right. I'm senior anchor Andrew Hungerford. Fringe, excellent to each other, wherever you may be, whether it's lost in the internet, orbiting in space, or out protesting right now. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
For all Black women. These lists, they're too long. They keep going and they keep growing, but it stops here. Sandra Bland, Deborah Danner, Nina Pop, Pamela Turner, Monica Diamond, Erica Garner, Tanisha Anderson, Corin Gaines, Charlene Lyles, Atiana Jefferson, and the many other lives that are not here today that we cannot name because the list is too fucking long. We must not forget our sisters. We must continue to fight. We must continue to resist. We will uplift and celebrate them today. We will uplift and celebrate them every day. To have this birthday with them here. We will celebrate them and uplift them while they're here, and we will also uplift them and celebrate them while they are gone. Under the land, with the land, spoiled but not forgotten. Nothing grows into fruition from decay. All that grows is rotten. Have a good night, y'all.